When you drift into slumber, your pulse diminishes, your muscles unwind, and then you enter sleep. Yet your core essence, the vital force that defines your identity, vanishes completely. What happens to your awareness during the hours your physical form lies dormant? This isn't merely about dreaming. This goes beyond your mind simply organizing daily memories. Ancient knowledge preserved in lost Egyptian scrolls and suppressed Tibetan manuscripts explains why you occasionally awaken possessing answers that weren't there before sleep, feeling as though you've experienced entire lifetimes in mere hours, or carrying mysterious anxieties with unknown origins. This reality is simultaneously terrifying and empowering. As your physical vessel rests, your awareness embarks on journeys. The encounters during these nocturnal expeditions actively reshape your existence, whether you're conscious of it or not. Various societies have named this phenomenon the Great Slumber, while others call it the Gateway of Divinity. However, a document destroyed by church authorities in 1587 revealed its true designation: the compulsory voyage. For every human soul must undertake it. 99% of travelers return from these expeditions with empty hands, not due to lack of access to hidden wisdom, but because nobody taught them how to identify the markers of these experiences. These signs exist within your physical form right now, waiting to help you remember what truly occurs during your sleeping hours, to harness the energy of these realms, and to integrate it into your conscious existence. If you've ever sensed that something far more significant unfolds during nighttime hours, that's your inner knowing calling out. In the coming moments, I'll provide you with the roadmap. You'll discover precisely where your awareness travels each night and how to return with abilities that will transform your earthly experience forever. You may extinguish the lights, wrap yourself in blankets, shut your eyelids, and regulate your breathing, but one aspect of you remains perpetually alert: your consciousness. The fundamental error we've been conditioned to accept is viewing sleep as complete unconsciousness, a necessary shutdown for energy restoration. Yet if this were the complete truth, how would we account for such intense dreams, life-changing encounters, or brilliant inspirations that emerge from apparent nothingness? We've been programmed to limit our existence exclusively to physical reality. Society convinced us that we are merely flesh and bone. But the prohibited manuscript, the one few have courage to examine, exposes a disturbing truth. While the body enters dormancy, consciousness continues its travels. As your heartbeat slows and your muscles release tension, your essence penetrates unseen dimensions of existence. Some traditions refer to these dimensions as astral realms, others as ethereal worlds. The terminology is irrelevant. What's crucial is recognizing that each night you become more liberated than you could imagine. This principle is both straightforward and revolutionary. Sleep serves as a temporary gateway to alternate realities. Your physical form functions like a charging dock. Your consciousness, however, operates like an explorer that cannot be confined. It persists in existing, discovering, and absorbing knowledge. You may have already experienced this phenomenon without recognition. That floating feeling before entering sleep, as though your body grew heavy while you felt weightless, or awakening with fragmented memories of locations you've never visited, yet seem mysteriously recognizable. An ancient mystical saying declares, "Every sleep is a minor death, and every awakening is a minor rebirth." You might have never considered sleep from this perspective, but the truth remains that the moment you close your eyes and surrender to darkness, something within you submits to a profound detachment process. Entering sleep literally means releasing control. You abandon alertness, you release the ego, you let go of your daily persona. Your body operates automatically. Your heart continues pumping, your lungs keep functioning, but your conscious awareness disconnects from the material realm. Within this disconnection, something remarkable occurs. The identical process that happens during death begins manifesting on a reduced scale. Ancient spiritual teachings explain that when we die, our consciousness detaches from the physical form to continue its eternal journey. During sleep, this separation is rehearsed. The distinction lies in sleep maintaining this connection, rather than permanently severing it. An invisible lifeline, recognized across many traditions as the silver thread, preserves this bond. This thread resembles an energetic conduit linking your material body to your living essence. While it stays unbroken, you can depart and return. When it snaps during actual death, the journey becomes permanent. Numerous wise teachers viewed sleeping as preparation for conscious dying. They instructed that individuals who master nightly death, embracing sleep as sacred surrender, approach actual death with serenity, understanding, and clarity. This explains why countless cultures cherished pre-sleep ceremonies, not merely to safeguard the resting body, but to direct the traveling spirit, reminding it of its mission even during states of separation. Perhaps now you grasp something profound. Our inability to recall sleeping experiences doesn't negate their reality. It simply indicates that the chasm between these two states, wakefulness and sleep, remains an unconquered enigma for most of us. However, bridging this gap is achievable. Understanding that sleeping involves minor dying represents the initial step toward living with greater awareness. Those who comprehend the delicacy and magnificence of this nightly passage begin treasuring every night, every dream, every floating sensation as pieces of wisdom far exceeding anything visible during waking hours. Among the lost insights regarding nighttime consciousness exists an ancient technique that few understand, one capable of dramatically enhancing your capacity to recall and navigate your out-of-body journeys: segmented sleep patterns. In historical civilizations, including Greek, Egyptian, and even throughout European medieval periods, human rest naturally separated into two major phases. People would slumber for several hours, awaken during midnight hours for reading, contemplation, or prayer, then return to sleep until dawn. This intermission between sleep segments wasn't viewed as problematic. It was frequently regarded as a holy period. Why does this matter for those seeking to access elevated consciousness during rest? Because the transitional phase between initial and secondary sleep represents one of the most productive zones for out-of-body experiences, conscious dreaming, and spiritual connections. When you naturally awaken during midnight hours, your brain remains submerged in slow brainwaves, theta and delta frequencies, while your logical mind begins displaying signs of alertness. At this junction between deep rest and conscious awareness, the boundary separating worlds grows thinner. You haven't fully awakened, yet you're no longer completely submerged in unconsciousness. You're positioned within a doorway. Seasoned practitioners of consciousness projection understand that moments of partial awakening, particularly during segmented sleep, are perfect for initiating deliberate separations from the physical form. This occurs when the body remains dormant and weighted, but the mind can direct subtle movements of consciousness, enabling travel between realities. Segmented sleep patterns also enhance dream recollection and astral journey memory. Since midnight awakening brings recent dreams to the surface, Recording or meditating on them becomes significantly easier before they dissipate. If you desire to experiment with this approach, here's a straightforward method. Rest normally, permitting the initial sleep phase to occur, typically lasting 4 to 5 hours. Upon natural awakening or gentle alarm activation, remain lying quietly, focusing on bodily sensations. Rather than immediately rising, allow your mind to stay relaxed, flowing between thoughts and imagery. Attempt to re-enter sleep consciously, maintaining the desire to achieve awareness within dreams or initiate deliberate projection. This minor modification to your rest cycle might unlock internal gateways you never imagined possible. Segmented sleep represents an ancient remembrance, a forgotten inheritance from when we understood that sleeping wasn't merely resting, but journeying between dimensions. Each night, without your complete awareness, you encounter other forms of consciousness. Some of these entities feel familiar, others remain entirely foreign. Yet every meeting carries intention and instruction. When discussing other consciousness forms, we're not exclusively referencing human spirits in subtle dimensions. You can connect with spiritual protectors, departed loved ones, family members, friends, or kindred souls who have completed their transition and occasionally return offering comfort or direction. Teachers and mentors who are elevated vibration consciousness, forms that educate, motivate, and reawaken forgotten memories of your authentic source. These connections can occur symbolically, encoded within imagery, or directly through conversations, physical contact, or even wordless knowledge transfers. It's typical to awaken with powerful sensations of having been accompanied, detecting particular fragrances, hearing voices upon awakening, or carrying unexplainable emotions throughout the day. All these represent fragments of these midnight encounters. Every interaction provides opportunities to mend wounds, recall ancient commitments, receive assignments, and accelerate your personal awakening. If you're finding this exploration of consciousness fascinating, hit the like button and subscribe for more hidden wisdom that can transform your reality. It's vital to understand that not every interaction flows smoothly or comfortably. Some entities may trigger unease, fear, or opposition. This doesn't automatically indicate malevolence. Often they simply reflect internal elements you need to incorporate, heal, or comprehend. The optimal approach when handling encounters in subtle dimensions involves maintaining elevated vibration before sleeping. Thoughts of love, appreciation, safety, and illumination. This aligns your consciousness to connect with entities compatible with your authentic purpose. Your spirit never journeys in isolation. It's perpetually moving, constantly learning, always touching, and being touched by other souls. What's particularly fascinating about these encounters is that they often serve as healing opportunities, not just for you, but for the entities you meet. Sometimes, souls who have recently transitioned need assistance understanding their new state, and your consciousness can serve as a bridge or guide. Other times, you might find yourself in healing circles where multiple consciousness work together to send energy to specific locations or individuals on Earth. These collaborative spiritual missions happen more frequently than most people realize, and they represent one of the ways your soul contributes to the greater good while your body rests. The ancient mystery schools understood this principle deeply. They taught that during sleep, advanced initiates could participate in what they called the Great Work, a collective effort by awakened souls to maintain spiritual balance on Earth. These midnight councils of consciousness would gather in ethereal temples, invisible to physical eyes, but as real as any earthly building. Here, they would receive assignments, perhaps to guide a soul through a difficult life transition, to send healing energy to areas of conflict, or to plant seeds of inspiration in the minds of inventors, artists, and leaders who could serve humanity's evolution. Evidence of these nocturnal missions appears throughout history. Many great discoveries, artistic masterpieces, and spiritual breakthroughs have been attributed to dreams or sudden insights upon awakening. Tesla received visions of his inventions during sleep. Kekule discovered the structure of benzene through a dream of a snake eating its own tail. The melody for Yesterday came to Paul McCartney fully formed in a dream. These weren't random neural firings. They were downloads from higher dimensional consciousness during sleep states. What makes this even more profound is that you don't need to be a famous inventor or artist to participate in these missions. Every soul, regardless of its earthly status, can contribute to the collective healing and evolution of consciousness. Your seemingly ordinary dreams might actually be memories of extraordinary service work performed while your body rested. That recurring dream of teaching children could be a memory of actually guiding young souls in the astral realms. That vision of healing wounded animals might reflect your participation in sending energy to endangered species. These experiences are far more literal than most people dare to believe. Among every mystery surrounding our nightly expeditions, perhaps none captivates more than this: entrance to parallel existences. Consider momentarily that somewhere beyond ordinary perception, alternate versions of yourself live different choices, alternative paths taken, different passions pursued, other journeys, other fates. Numerous testimonies of out-of-body experiences and conscious dreaming describe alternative realities, worlds where other versions of you exist, remain active, confronting challenges that somehow mirror your present struggles. During profound sleep, especially when your consciousness moves with greater liberty, you can enter these parallel realities. You might encounter a version of yourself who made decisions you hesitated to make, or who confronted fears that still limit your life, or even a version who pursued a completely different purpose. These meetings don't occur randomly. Through interacting consciously or unconsciously with these alternate aspects, you receive potent insights, intuitions emerging from nowhere, solutions to persistent problems, renewed bravery to transform what previously seemed unchangeable. Frequently, these experiences arrive disguised, intense dreams feeling too real to be mere fantasy, or déjà vu sensations so powerful they nearly overwhelm you. These are indicators, signs that your consciousness contacted other timelines, other possibilities of existence. It's as though existence, in its boundless mercy, communicates, "Look, you are more expansive than you realize. More pathways exist than you imagine. Greater strength resides within you than your fears dare acknowledge." The practice of opening yourself to these experiences starts with honoring intense dreams and spontaneous insights. Instead of rejecting them as imagination, question yourself: what was this dream attempting to reveal? What aspect of me is it uncovering? You are not a linear entity. You are an expansive soul extending into numerous experiences across multiple worlds. During nighttime, when the veil between worlds grows thin, you can remember. You can contact other selves, other journeys, other versions of your infinite nature. Have you encountered The Midnight Library by Matt Haig? The concept resembles that narrative structure. The moment has arrived to declare openly what many already sense privately. Dreams aren't always mere dreams. Not every dream represents innocent wandering through imagination. Some dreams constitute coded documentation of astral expeditions, meetings with other consciousness forms, visits to parallel realities, invisible assignments your soul has agreed to fulfill. The distinction exists in the intensity and energy the dream contains. Ordinary dreams dissolve rapidly upon awakening, like morning mist in sunlight. But authentic dreams, dreams arising from conscious experiences in other dimensions, leave lasting impressions. Acknowledging that dreams transcend simple dreams means awakening within life's very mystery. It means stepping beyond automatic mode and beginning to live, even while sleeping, with purpose and perception open to the invisible. Don't minimize what your dreams attempt to communicate. They are messages, gateways, connections between worlds. Every time you awaken remembering something that doesn't feel like a typical dream, understand this. You contacted something genuine. You crossed over. You remembered. There exists an almost undetectable instant between deep sleep and consciousness, awakening in other dimensions when energetic gateways open. These gateways aren't visible to physical sight. They are vibrational openings, energy fields connecting our dense world with more refined dimensions. During sleep, particularly in the deepest phases or partial awakenings, our consciousness gains opportunities to traverse these invisible passages. These moments are fragile. They require soul openness and simultaneously mental subtlety. Any fear, anxiety, or excessive attachment to the body can immediately seal these gateways. Have you ever experienced that peculiar sensation of awakening within your sleep, feeling your body immobilized but your consciousness alert? You were positioned before an energetic gateway. During sleep, our consciousness naturally seeks these passages. Recognizing energetic gateway signs demands attention. Sensations of extreme heaviness or weightness before sleeping, vibrational sounds or humming emerging during transition moments, displacement feelings as though the entire room spins or you're being drawn from your body. These are valuable moments. If you welcome them with courage and surrender, your consciousness can cross over and access wisdom levels and experiences that transform not just your night, but your complete existence. Learn to perceive the signs. Don't resist what appears unusual. Allow yourself to be traversed. Trust your inner light. What's remarkable about these gateways is that they're not random occurrences. They follow natural rhythms and cycles, often aligning with lunar phases, seasonal changes, and even your personal energy cycles. Advanced practitioners learn to recognize when these windows are most likely to open and prepare accordingly. Some report that maintaining a consistent meditation practice during waking hours significantly increases the likelihood of conscious gateway experiences during sleep. The lunar connection is particularly significant. Ancient traditions observed that the new moon creates optimal conditions for deep inner journeys and soul retrieval work, while the full moon amplifies psychic abilities and interdimensional communication. During solar eclipses and equinoxes, the veil between worlds becomes so thin that even those who normally don't remember their sleep experiences may find themselves with vivid recollections of otherworldly encounters. Your personal biorhythms also play a crucial role. Just as your body follows circadian rhythms, your consciousness follows what some traditions call psychic rhythms, cycles that determine when your spiritual faculties are most active. Some people are natural midnight travelers, finding their consciousness most active between 2 and 4 a.m. Others are dawn walkers, experiencing their deepest spiritual connections in the hours just before sunrise. Learning your own psychic rhythm can dramatically enhance your ability to navigate these gateways consciously. There are also geographical factors that influence gateway accessibility. Certain locations on Earth often called vortexes or sacred sites, create natural amplification of these dimensional doorways. Sleeping near these locations, or even meditating on them before sleep, can enhance your interdimensional travel experiences. Ancient peoples understood this, which is why so many sacred temples and monuments were built on these energetic intersections. The preparation for conscious gateway travel involves more than just recognizing timing and location. Your emotional and mental state before sleep acts like a tuning fork, determining which dimensions you can access. Fear, anger, or desperation might pull you toward lower vibrational realms where confused entities and shadowy experiences dominate. Love, gratitude, and service-oriented intentions attract you to higher dimensional spaces where healing, learning, and soul evolution occur. Some advanced practitioners develop what could be called astral protocols, specific preparation rituals that consistently produce conscious travel experiences. These might include particular breathing patterns, visualization techniques, or even specific foods eaten before sleep. The key is consistency and sincere intention rather than elaborate complexity. Not every consciousness inhabiting subtle dimensions is benevolent. Not every encounter remains neutral. And not every energy circulating around us during sleep proves beneficial. Therefore, since ancient times, spiritual traditions have acknowledged the existence of protectors, guardian entities who oversee our nightly crossings, and have also warned about negative interference attempting to mislead or drain us. These guardians represent genuine consciousness forms possessing profound wisdom and compassion. They operate silently, safeguarding your journey, maintaining your silver cord's integrity, repelling hostile presences that in denser dimensions could disrupt your spiritual awakening. You may have already sensed their presence. Dreams where luminous figures guide you from threatening situations, sudden safety feelings amid nightmares, or simply awakening during midnight hours feeling unexplainably protected and accompanied. Conversely, interferences also exist. They are confused, fragmented consciousness forms trapped in dense dimensions. Some merely seek energy for sustenance. Others attempt generating fear, doubt, confusion. These presences tend to approach when we vibrate in low-frequency states: anger, pain, fear, profound sadness. During sleep, these emotional states can weaken our natural protection, enabling unwanted access. Here's the key insight. You control your vibrational frequency. According to natural laws of subtle worlds, frequency attracts frequency. Maintaining connection to feelings of love, gratitude, courage, and truth before entering sleep resembles raising a light barrier around yourself. Prayer, meditation, sincere intentions to serve greater good. All these practices strengthen your spiritual protection, attract guardians, and make any form of energetic intrusion more difficult. Sleep then transforms from risky territory into accelerated growth territory. It's worth noting that some spiritual traditions teach specific protection prayers or visualizations for sleep time. These might include imagining yourself surrounded by white or golden light, calling upon specific guardian spirits or angels, or simply setting the intention that only loving, beneficial energies may approach you during your sleep journey. The key is finding a protection method that resonates with your personal beliefs and feels authentic to you. However, protection alone isn't sufficient. You must also cultivate discernment. Not every entity claiming to be a guide actually serves your highest good. Some beings in the astral realms are genuine teachers, while others are simply confused souls posing as wise masters. True spiritual guides never demand worship, never ask you to abandon your free will. and never create dependency. They empower you to find your own truth, rather than insisting you follow their teachings blindly. There are also what could be called energetic parasites, entities that feed off human emotional energy, particularly fear, anger, and despair. These beings often appear in dreams as threatening figures, create recurring nightmares, or leave you feeling drained despite adequate sleep. The antidote to these encounters isn't to fear them, but to raise your vibration so high that you become incompatible with their frequency. One of the most effective protection methods involves what ancient traditions called the armor of light. Before sleep, visualize yourself completely surrounded by brilliant white or golden light. See this light extending outward from your body, creating a protective sphere that only allows loving, beneficial energies to enter. Affirm that you travel under divine protection and that your journey serves the highest good of all. This simple practice, performed with genuine intention, creates an energetic signature that attracts positive guides while repelling negative influences. Some traditions also recommend keeping specific stones or crystals near your sleeping area. Amethyst is said to enhance spiritual protection and dream recall. Black tourmaline allegedly absorbs negative energies. Clear quartz supposedly amplifies positive intentions. While the scientific evidence for crystal properties remains debatable, many practitioners report noticeable improvements in their sleep experiences when using these stones with clear intention. While most people believe sleeping simply means shutting down, a deeper truth exists, one few dare remember. Your soul may be on assignment every night. Often, while your body rests, your higher consciousness serves something greater, something transcending ego needs, something responding to light's silent call. These assignments can manifest in various forms: spiritual rescue missions, assisting disoriented consciousness forms in finding their way back to light, healing actions, transmitting healing energy to people, places, or situations requiring balance, soul guidance, serving as a guide for consciousness forms in transition or learning, instruction reception, preparing your soul for future challenges, teaching reception that can only be understood outside matter's density. Many of these assignments occur without your rational mind's complete awareness, because the soul, your authentic essence, doesn't require ego permission to serve what's greater. Have you ever awakened feeling drained despite hours of sleep, or experienced deep emotions without apparent cause, as though you participated in something significant? Or even dreamed of helping others, rescuing someone? These are memory fragments seeping from the genuine journey your consciousness undertook while you slept. Over time, with practices strengthening consciousness, such as pre-sleep mindfulness, profound gratitude, and clear intentions to serve light, you can begin remembering more of these assignments. These service missions often involve working with what some traditions call soul groups, clusters of related souls who incarnate together across multiple lifetimes to help each other learn and grow. During sleep, these soul groups often reconvene to plan future incarnations, review past experiences, and coordinate their earthly missions. The concept of soul groups adds another layer of profound meaning to your sleep experiences. These are souls you've journeyed with across multiple lifetimes, sometimes as family members, sometimes as friends, teachers, or even adversaries who helped you learn important lessons. During sleep, the artificial barriers of current lifetime roles dissolve, and you can interact with these souls in their true forms, remembering the deeper purposes behind your earthly relationships. These soul group meetings often take place in what some traditions describe as astral universities or temples of learning. Here, souls gather to study the lessons from their current incarnations, receive guidance for upcoming challenges, and even preview potential future timelines. You might find yourself in vast libraries where knowledge exists as living light, or in healing chambers where souls who have experienced trauma in their earthly lives receive restoration and understanding. The soul group dynamic also explains why certain people feel immediately familiar when you meet them, why some relationships seem to carry an inexplicable depth from the very beginning, and why certain individuals can trigger profound spiritual growth in your life. These aren't random encounters. They're carefully orchestrated meetings between souls who have agreed to help each other evolve. During these nocturnal reunions, souls often plan what some call spiritual contracts for their waking lives. They might agree to meet at specific times to trigger each other's awakening, to provide support during difficult periods, or to collaborate on projects that serve humanity's evolution. That unexpected encounter with a stranger who changed your life perspective might have been planned in the astral realms long before it occurred in physical reality. The healing work performed in these soul group gatherings extends far beyond individual needs. Groups of souls often focus their collective energy on global healing projects, sending light to areas of conflict, environmental restoration, or supporting humanity's spiritual awakening. You might participate in massive healing meditations involving thousands of souls, all working together to raise the planet's vibrational frequency. This is one reason why you might occasionally wake up feeling as though you've participated in something monumentally important, even though you can't recall specific details. And if you wish to explore this further, as mentioned, deep gratitude and clear intention are essential practices on this path. So I encourage you to embrace the Quantum Consciousness Challenge, where you'll complete 21 exercises over 21 days, shifting your state from ego to elevated consciousness, which will enhance not only your sleep journeys, but your entire earthly experience. Access the first pinned comment and rapidly transform your frequency. In alternate worlds, words aren't the primary communication method. There, consciousness forms express themselves directly, vibrationally, through symbols, imagery, and sensations that communicate much faster and more profoundly than any spoken language. When your consciousness travels during sleep, it contacts these symbolic messages. This explains why many dreams appear mysterious. They're not addressing the brain's logic, but the soul's wisdom. Envision that each appearing symbol, a key, a bridge, a storm, a mirror, represents an energy code, a package of concentrated information designed to activate something within you. A memory, an insight, a transformation. This is the language of the higher unconscious, a language that instead of describing the world, creates realities, touches being, reconfigures destinies. Therefore, when you dream of powerful, recurring, or emotionally charged imagery, pay attention. What matters isn't so much what the symbol appears to mean to the rational mind. What matters is what it makes resonate within you. An opening door may not simply be a door. It may be the living representation of a new pathway your soul is prepared to traverse. An accompanying animal may reflect a forgotten inner strength requiring reactivation. A storm may signal a deep emotional purification already occurring, even if your mind still resists. Interpreting this language requires less analysis and more sensitivity. It requires feeling more than thinking, welcoming images as sacred visitors, message bearers arriving from your being's core. A powerful practice for this involves maintaining a dream journal. Recording symbols, emotions, and details immediately upon awakening creates a living bridge between the invisible world and the material world. Over time, you begin recognizing patterns, noticing recurring themes, and thus translating your own spirit's voice. Advanced dream work practitioners often discover that certain symbols have personal meanings that evolve over time. A symbol that represents one thing early in your spiritual journey might develop deeper, more nuanced meanings as you grow and expand your consciousness. This is why keeping a dream journal over extended periods can reveal fascinating patterns and progressions in your spiritual development. The evolution of symbolic meaning reflects your consciousness's expansion across multiple dimensions of understanding. What begins as a simple dream symbol, perhaps a key representing opportunity, might later reveal itself as a complex, multidimensional code containing information about past lives, future potentials, and your soul's deeper mission. This layered symbolism is one reason why ancient mystery schools spent years training initiates to interpret the language of dreams and visions. Certain symbols appear to be universal across human consciousness, suggesting they tap into what some call the collective unconscious, or Akashic field. Water often represents emotional cleansing or spiritual purification. Flying frequently symbolizes freedom from earthly limitations or conscious astral travel. Staircases or ladders typically indicate transitions between levels of consciousness or spiritual evolution. Animals often represent instinctual wisdom or spirit guides appearing in forms you can easily understand. However, personal symbolism can be far more specific and meaningful than universal symbols. Your consciousness might use images from your childhood, references to your current interests, or even create entirely unique symbolic languages that speak directly to your soul. This is why generic dream interpretation books often fall short. Your dreams are speaking in a language specifically designed for you, using symbols that carry personal energetic significance. The most advanced practitioners learn to engage in what could be called lucid symbolic interpretation, becoming conscious within dreams and directly asking symbols to reveal their meanings. This requires developing a stable, lucid dreaming practice where you can maintain awareness while allowing the dream to continue flowing. In this state, you can approach dream symbols as living entities and request clarification of their messages. Some traditions teach that dream symbols are actually conscious entities themselves, thought forms created by higher dimensional beings to communicate with human consciousness. From this perspective, dreams become meetings with intelligent symbol beings who are trying to convey specific information to help your spiritual evolution. This explains why some dream symbols feel alive and responsive, almost as if they're aware of your attention. It's frustrating to awaken with certainty that something incredible occurred during the night, but within minutes or even seconds, everything dissolves like smoke. Your consciousness experiences far more than you remember. Each night, each dream, each crossing in the astral dimension leaves traces within you. But capturing those traces requires training, intention, and respect for the unconscious language. The encouraging news is that simple and powerful techniques exist to retrieve those memories and illuminate the profound experiences your soul undertakes while the body rests. Here are some of the most effective practices. Gentle awakening. How you awaken directly influences your ability to remember dreams. Avoid harsh alarms or sudden movements upon waking. Keep your eyes closed for several moments, breathing deeply and mentally reviewing everything that comes to mind, even vague impressions. This quiet space between sleep and wakefulness is a precious bridge for accessing memories. Strengthen intention before sleeping. Consciousness is directed by intention. Before sleeping, mentally declare, "Tonight I will remember what my consciousness experiences." This simple practice, repeated with sincerity, programs your mind to pay greater attention to nighttime experiences. Employ memory anchors. Some people benefit from using small triggers to facilitate recall. Specific crystals like amethyst beside the bed, gentle essences like lavender, or even repeating lucid awareness affirmations. These triggers function as energetic anchors, aligning your frequency with conscious recollection. And as previously mentioned, maintain a journal. Keep it beside your bed along with a pen. Immediately upon awakening, record everything you can remember, even seemingly meaningless fragments. Colors, sensations, a random word, a strange image. The important thing is recording it instantly. The rational mind tends to erase these memories within minutes if you don't act quickly. Over time, you'll notice patterns, recurring messages, and increasingly vivid dreams. Many people abandon efforts quickly, believing they can't remember their dreams. But astral memory resembles a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Modern sleep researchers have discovered that dream recall is significantly higher when people wake up during REM, rapid eye movement, sleep phases. If you're serious about improving dream recall, you might consider using a sleep tracking device that can wake you during lighter sleep phases when you're more likely to remember your dreams. However, the most important factor remains your intention and commitment to the practice. Have you encountered the hypnagogic state? It's that thin boundary between being awake and asleep, a fluid realm where images, sensations, and thoughts emerge like luminous streams, and where, if you understand how to navigate, you can access visions, astral travels, and profound communications. Most people pass through this zone without noticing. They fall asleep quickly, lulled by fatigue, missing the opportunity to explore one of consciousness's most fertile states for the soul. The hypnagogic state functions like a bridge between worlds. In this moment, your rational mind weakens its control, your defenses lower, and your subtle consciousness begins expanding naturally. You're not fully dreaming, but you're also no longer anchored to the physical world. Signs indicating you're entering the hypnagogic state. Spontaneous images appearing in the mind without conscious control. Sensations of floating, swaying, or moving without physical movement. Changes in body perception. Feelings of growing, shrinking, or extreme lightness. You know when you begin falling asleep and suddenly awaken with the sensation of falling? That's what we're discussing. Why does this matter? Because if you learn to recognize and maintain awareness in this state, you can enter states of deep healing and energetic realignment. The first step can be as simple as not falling asleep too rapidly. Some advanced practitioners use the hypnagogic state for what's called creative incubation, deliberately posing questions or problems to their subconscious mind as they enter this twilight state. Many famous inventors, artists, and scientists have reported receiving breakthrough insights during these liminal moments between waking and sleeping. Salvador Dali famously used to nap holding a key that would fall and wake him when he entered deeper sleep, allowing him to capture the surreal images from his hypnagogic experiences. The creative potential of the hypnagogic state extends far beyond artistic inspiration. This consciousness threshold provides access to what some traditions call the library of all knowledge, a dimension where information exists in pure form, unfiltered by the limitations of physical reality. In this state, you can potentially access solutions to any problem, insights into any mystery, or understanding of any concept. Thomas Edison was perhaps the most famous practitioner of hypnagogic problem-solving. He would sit in his chair holding steel balls in his hands, with metal pans positioned beneath. As he began to fall asleep while contemplating a particular invention challenge, the balls would fall and wake him, allowing him to capture whatever insights arose during that threshold state. Many of his groundbreaking inventions reportedly came through this practice. The reason the hypnagogic state is so conducive to receiving information is that it represents a perfect balance between conscious intention and unconscious receptivity. Your rational mind is relaxed enough to stop filtering incoming information, but your conscious awareness remains active enough to recognize and remember what you receive. It's like tuning into a cosmic radio station where knowledge flows freely to those who know how to listen. Modern research has confirmed that the brain exhibits unique electrical patterns during the hypnagogic state, particularly increased theta waves associated with creativity, intuition, and access to subconscious information. Some researchers theorize that this brain state creates optimal conditions for what they call remote information access, the ability to receive knowledge from sources beyond the individual mind. You can deliberately cultivate hypnagogic insights by developing what could be called question seeding. Before entering sleep, formulate a clear, specific question about something you genuinely need to understand. Hold this question lightly in your awareness as you drift towards sleep, without forcing or straining for answers. Allow yourself to enter the hypnagogic state with receptive expectation, ready to receive whatever information presents itself. The key to successful hypnagogic practice is maintaining what Tibetan traditions call relaxed awareness, a state of alert receptivity without tension or grasping. You're simultaneously letting go and staying present, releasing control while maintaining consciousness. This paradoxical state is where the magic happens, where the boundaries between individual consciousness and cosmic intelligence dissolve. Throughout existence, we've been taught that sleep was merely a pause, a silent intermission between one day and the next. But now you understand each night is a sacred expedition disguised as rest. You are not a body that dreams. You are a consciousness that travels, that crosses invisible portals, that meets guides, confronts shadows, heals wounds, fulfills silent missions, and receives teachings transcending common logic. With each descent into sleep, your soul reconnects to the vastness from which it originated. With each awakening, a new opportunity to bring fragments of that wisdom into the physical world. True awakening doesn't happen only when your eyes open in the morning. True awakening occurs when you understand who you truly are, both in the visible world and the invisible one. When you realize that your path doesn't begin and end in matter. When you recognize that your nights are as alive, as powerful as your days. The truth is, we are multi-dimensional beings having a human experience, not human beings occasionally having spiritual experiences. Every night, we return to our true nature as consciousness, unbound by the limitations of physical form. We remember what we really are beneath all the conditioning and forgetting that comes with physical incarnation. The Forbidden Book, ultimately, is not merely an ancient text hidden in history's shadows. The Forbidden Book is you. You are the living manuscript containing all the wisdom of the ages, all the secrets of consciousness, all the maps to other dimensions. You carry within your very being the knowledge of how to navigate between worlds, how to remember your true nature, and to bring back the gifts of the spirit realm into your earthly existence. Every night, you have the opportunity to read from this forbidden book of yourself, to remember who you really are, and to awaken not just from sleep, but from the deeper sleep of forgetfulness that keeps us believing we are merely physical beings in a purely material world. The journey to other dimensions doesn't require special tools or exotic practices. It simply requires you to remember what you already know, to trust what you already experience, and to honor the profound mystery of consciousness that you embody every moment of every day and night. Now that you understand where consciousness travels during sleep, discover what happens to the soul after physical death in my video, Where Does the Soul Go? The First Year After Death Explained. You'll learn the complete journey of consciousness beyond the physical realm and understand the continuation of your eternal existence.